Welcome to the Rough Draft Show. My name is Ronnie.
My name is Zach. Today we're doing fantasy. We're creating a fantasy script.
Yeah, so this was inspired by, all our favorites like Lord of the Rings,
Reign of Fire, How to Train Your Dragon,
Dragons, Fire and Ice. You can pull up the DVD for Dragons, Fire and Ice right now. I think we have it. Did anyone remember this? I'm not sure.
What happened? I think we need to establish one thing first. We got a green screen, guys.
Oh yeah.
We can now have the show from anywhere in the world.
We're in space now.
Dude, we're at Joe Biden's inauguration speech. Look, there's Obama.
There's Lola Bunny.
There's Lola Bunny.
Before she was desexualized. We're in space now.
Why do you keep saying we're in space? You said it like 3 times.
Yeah, but there's a lot in space. Alright, what's the plot of your fantasy movie?
Any fantasy buff will know that every single fantasy story follows the hero's journey to a T. So that's what we're going to be basing the story off of.
Yeah. Do you want to explain what the hero's journey is?
No. The story of our fantasy episode follows as such. A young farmer boy is thrust into a world of evil elves, dragons, and dark secrets that could bring the world together or tear it apart. Gilliam Greybeard, a young coal miner, is visited in the night by a dragon spirit after he discovers a mysterious radiant orb and dagger deep in the elven underground. The ghost-like dragon reveals to him that he is meant to be the savior of his people. Will Gilliam accept his fate as the hero of the 76 realms? Or will he stand by as the evil elf empire continues their tyrannical rule over Sapphire Earth?
Why are there 76 realms?
There's 76 realms, so we can have spin-offs.
Is Sapphire Earth one realm, or is it a part of?
Sapphire Earth is part of the 18th realm.
What's the 18th realm? What's their deal?
It'll be in one of the visual dictionaries that you can buy in a $5 book bin at Walmart. I think we should talk about the dragon character first, because I have a fun graphic that I wanted to talk about.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I want to talk about my 7 levels of dragons. There are levels to dragons in media. So at the F tier, we got Mushu.
What?
From Mulan. It's because he's pretty useless.
Oh, okay.
And he's not very smart. And he's like a little lizard. Okay, so then the tier above that, we have the How to Train Your Dragon dragons.
Oh, like Toothless.
Like Toothless. The reason why they're a little bit step above is because they're more useful and they're a lot smarter. Plus, they are much more integral to the stories that they're from. Above that, you have the Spirited Away. So you have dragons that are mythical, powerful, mysterious, incredibly intelligent. They can shapeshift, they have special powers. Above that, you have stories like Dragonheart, where
Sean Connery.
Like Sean
Connery dragon.
Sean Connery dragon, where they're more powerful, they're bigger, they're much more intelligent. They pretty much have a human personality. Above that, you have dragons like Smog, which are hyper intelligent and enormous.
So that's like the SS tier.
Oh, no, we're not even there yet.
Oh shit, okay, what's SS?
And then in the final tier, the most powerful, the smartest, is Godchild.
Yeah, alright, so the ordinary world, I assume, is the farmland?
The farmland, the coal mine. He works in the coal mine.
Wait, I thought you said he's a young farmer. He works in a coal mine?
Yeah, he's... Like, here's the deal. I came up with this idea where there were like Nazi elves.
Oh.
And there's like an empire of elves who have invaded the human homeland. So he is forced to work as a coal miner. And he also has to provide for himself, so he has to be a farmer.
How old is Gilliam Greybeard?
He looks like Nicholas Hoult in Jack and
the Giant Slayer. Why do we always reference shitty movies?
But yeah, so after that, he's just in his ordinary world. And then there's the Call to Adventure.
He finds the orb.
He finds the orb in the depths of the elvish Nazi coal mine.
What does a coal mine look like?
I think the coal mine probably looks something like the mines of Moria.
Oh, okay.
From Lord of the Rings.
Alright, Call to Adventure. The dragon spirit comes to him after he grabs her orb. What does he say?
You want to see what I wrote in my notes?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wrote, Magic Dragon finds him in the night, tells him that the elves have lost their way, and they are using magic they don't understand. Imagine the Balrog, but he's really cool. Like imagine if the Balrog had the personality of the Big Lebowski. I wrote that he needs to take the orb to a wizard so he can learn the powers and his destiny. And he has to like find the wizard to understand what to do with the orb.
What's the dagger and the orb do? Did they do anything cool? What do they look?
Here's where we delve into the lore. It's a fantasy episode, we gotta talk about lore, alright? So the orb was created by the Sapphire Earth. You can imagine the whole Earth as like a single living organism, and the orb was created as an antibody for the Dark Elves' magic. The Earth knows that the elves are infesting it. It sent Gilliam and the orb to destroy them. And we can use that as some very heavy-handed environmentalist theme.
Oh, okay, so like...
Which is very prevalent in a lot of fantasy.
Like Miyazaki films.
Yeah. I wrote this. After he leaves the threshold, there's always when he meets new people. What does it say? Tests allies and enemies?
So now he's in the special world.
He's in the special world. He left the farm. He left the coal mine. He left the Nazi regime. Alright, so one of his helpers, I wrote, finds an Olaf Samwise type character who knows the way to the wizard.
Oh, okay, so like they help him on the way to the wizard.
Yeah. There's like an action scene. Remember in Shrek where they fight the... It's like a Robin Hood character.
Oh, the Robin.
And then that's the scene where we find out that Fiona knows martial arts. I'm imagining a scene like that, and then like a little Groot-like person comes out of the forest. And then they're like, yo, do you know where the wizard is? And he's like, of course I know where the wizard is. It's my friend. And I wrote here, discuss what level wizard he should be.
Okay, well...
So here, I got 4 levels of wizards, guys. There's 4 levels. Here's Zach's 4 levels of wizards. Okay, first level of wizard at the bottom. The weakest, most useless wizards. I got Alex Russo from Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh, no.
Their magic is all shticks. It's not practical. It's not helpful, really. It just gets you into hijinks for a sitcom.
That's enough for that.
That's it, right? And then one step above that, you got Dumbledore. A real wizard. A real fantasy wizard. Right? He knows all the Avada Kedavra. He fights Dark Lords. He's a leader of a wizard cult.
University. That's the cult.
And then one level above that, you got Yoda from Star Wars. The reason why I put Yoda above Dumbledore is because Dumbledore is like the leader of his one world, but Yoda, like he's the most powerful wizard in the whole galaxy. And then one level above that, if you could even go further, is Gandalf. Gandalf is a spiritual being. Been on Earth for thousands of years. He's been there basically since the beginning of the universe. Okay,
what tier is your wizard in the story?
I want our wizard to be somewhere between Alex Russo and Dumbledore.
He's like Merlin in Shrek 3.
Yeah. So the wizard tells him what the orb is for. He explains the lore that I just had. I'm imagining a scene where they're like sitting around the campfire.
Here are the Infinity Stones.
It's like the Keanu Reeves. What is that? What do you mean by that? Like those moments in the Matrix where he asks all the annoying questions that the audience is asking. So yeah, that's his goal. Is he has to travel to the source of the elves' energy to destroy their dark crystal. Okay, yeah, so what happens next? The Abyss. Ronnie, we're in the Abyss.
Oh shit!
Alright, so the Abyss is like what happens when everything goes wrong. This is when Obi-Wan Kenobi dies. This is when Gandalf dies. This is when Dumbledore dies. I think you can understand where I'm going. So what happens is the wizard dies. The wizard is killed by the elves, and the elves get the orb. But the dagger has a magical property that allows him to track the orb if they are separated.
So this is like the dagger in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Then I wrote the Olaf type character helps him navigate the elvish realm. He confronts the elf king and kills the evil orb with the dagger. Then the good orb burns his hands as he puts it in its place.
So he's physically he's
physically changed.
He pays the price of the arm.
Yeah, there's always a sacrifice that happens. You know, Frodo's mind is completely fucked forever.
Oh yeah.
Luke his
arms cut off.
His arms are cut off. Yeah, like those things always happen. There always has to be some sort of price to pay. I wrote something really funny. So this is when don't read my notes. What are you doing? This is gonna be a test. I don't want you to cheat. This is where we do a classic rough draft. Come up with. Twist.
Oh, okay.
After he stabs the orb and replaces it with the good orb, I wrote the Elf King turns into an old, weak version of his former self. This creates a vacuum of power that sends the entire realm into a dark civil war for the next 5 years.
Okay. So like, It's suddenly super realistic. Like,
now he has to defend against raiders and invaders that have come to his land as a consequence of his actions.
what the fuck? Okay, so we have the basic outline of the plot now, right? So I wrote a love interest character. There's two variants that we have. So there's the one that likes to fight. They're kind of standoffish at first. And then the second one is the beautiful princess that longs for the main character to come back.
Maybe it's like the wizard's daughter, so we can have that emotional scene where he dies in her arms. And then there's that scene afterwards where she's like, he died for you.
You motherfuckers, you killed my dad!
You killed my dad. If you didn't come to our camp, he wouldn't be dead right now.
I also have weapon jerk-off scene. You know in the third Lord of the Rings when like Hugo Weaving's like, here's the thing.
Here's Isildur's blade.
I love you.
Yeah, I know Lord of the Rings. Who's the elf Nazis?
Ray Fiennes.
Oh my god. Ray Fiennes, Christoph Waltz.
That's not Daniel Bruhl.
Daniel Bruhl.
Alec Baldwin as
Alec Baldwin is
Dragon.
perfect.
Because he can fit the serious role, but he's like goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not an actor that you take seriously.
What's the movie called?
Elf Crystal.
The Orb of the Elves.
What a horrible name. I would not watch that.
The Orb of Light.
Okay, there we go. The Orb of Light. This is the Orb of Light series.
The series Orb of Light. Oh, it's called the Orb of Light series, like the Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
The Orb of Light. And then this
Chapter 1.
This chapter 1 is called Daggers and Dragons.
I like that. Alright. Orb of Light, episode 1. Daggers and Dragons.
That's so bad. Would you watch Orb of Light, Daggers and Dragons, starring Nicholas Hoult and Alec Baldwin? Okay, yeah, please check out our other videos. Our last video was our least viewed video. That felt good. And then I made a video that was less than a minute long. It took me 15 minutes to make, and it's now our most popular video. So I don't understand what you guys are doing. Please check out our other content. Consider subscription.